Well, in a big development in Ghaziabad assault case, cops have now sent out a notice to Managing Director of Twitter India, Manish Maheshwari. India Today has now accessed a copy of the police notice, which asks Maheshwari to record his statement at Loni police station within a week's time. In fact, the notice, which has been sent via mail, says that some people posted tweets spreading communal hatred, but the microblogging site took no action, allowed such tweets to go viral. Earlier on Tuesday night, the Uttar Pradesh government had filed an FIR at Loni border police station against Twitter, journalists and 2 Congress leaders for sharing the video. In the FIR, Ghaziabad police has ruled out communal angle with 4 fresh arrests now. The total number of people arrested in this case has now gone up to 9.
मनीष माहेश्वरी जी जो ट्विटर इंडिया के यहाँ पर हेड हैं, उनको कल मेल कर दिया गया है जो हम लोग का एक आईओ की तरफ से 160 सीआरपीसी में जो लेटर जाता है कि आप विवेचना में सहयोग करने के लिए उपस्थित हों। और भी कई अन्य जानकारियाँ उनसे मेल के माध्यम से मांगी गई हैं ट्विटर इंडिया से, तो उनको 1 हफ्ते का समय दिया गया है। तो उम्मीद है कि वो जल्दी से जल्दी हम लोग के साथ इसमें पूरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन में शामिल होंगे और हम लोग की हेल्प करेंगे।
On the other hand, Union IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad has launched a scathing attack at the microblogging platform, saying that Twitter cannot hide in the garb of free speech and not take action against manipulated tweets. They must comply with the rules. Here's what he said.
Union Law and IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad launched a fresh attack on microblogging platform Twitter, exposing what he insists are its double standards on tagging tweets as manipulated. After the Ghaziabad police FIR against Twitter, politicians, activists and others, Prasad asked why had Twitter failed to mark the Ghaziabad tweets in question as manipulated.
If Twitter has a norm of declaring a particular tweet as manipulated or unmanipulated, why it was not applied in the case of Ghaziabad case? When, apart from the fake element, it was provocative?
He argued Twitter will not be allowed to hide behind the garb of free speech and will have to follow the new IT rules for social media intermediaries.
आप सैकड़ों करोड़ कमा रहे हैं, एक बार प्लेटफॉर्म दबाइए तो तुरंत में विज्ञापन पे विज्ञापन आने लगेगा। अच्छी बात है, खूब कमाइए, लेकिन कानून का तो पालन करना पड़ेगा ना। व्यापार करिए, खूब मुनाफे कमाइए, हमारी सरकार की आलोचना करिए, जो आपके यूजर से सवाल पूछें उसका स्वागत है, लेकिन भारत का संविधान और भारत का कानून पालन करना पड़ेगा।
Government says if Twitter wants to continue to operate in India, it will have to appoint a grievance officer, a nodal officer and a compliance officer. Meanwhile, another complaint has been lodged against Twitter Managing Director in India, Manish Maheshwari and others in connection with the alleged communal twist given to the altercation in Ghaziabad. A Delhi-based lawyer, Amit Acharya, filed a complaint at the Tilak Marg police station in central Delhi, saying despite police statement on the Ghaziabad incident, Twitter did not take down the tweets or even mark them as manipulated, alleging a wider conspiracy to incite communal riots. The Delhi police say they are probing the matter. The opposition continues to take on the Modi government for targeting the social media platform Twitter in the times of pandemic.
They cannot control Twitter. That's why they want to bulldoze Twitter. They cannot control me, so they want to bulldoze my government. So that is their phenomena. And one day there will be an end. There will be an end of everything.
Despite the criticism, the government insists all social media platforms will have to comply with the new IT rules in India.
The FIR complaint that has been filed in the Tilak Marg police station claims that Dorsey deliberately visited Indian journalists and activists and is part of a conspiracy to destabilize the country. It now remains to be seen whether the police will act upon this complaint. In New Delhi with cameraman Sachin, this is Anisha Mathur for India Today.
Now, India Today and the government here, we are looking at the government particularly continuing to be at loggerheads with Twitter, the microblogging platform. Days after social media giant lost its intermediary status in India after it failed to comply with the new IT laws, Twitter officials now will be appearing before the Parliamentary Standing Committee today, headed by Congress MPs Shashi Tharoor at 4 p.m. this evening. Now, to give a briefing on the prevention of misuse of the social media platform and issues related to protection of citizens' rights, especially women's security, this meeting has been held. This comes after Twitter India did not comply to new IT norms and as a result lost its immunity in the country. Earlier, Twitter was obliged to take down illegal content, but now it faces civil and criminal liability for any illegal post posted on its site. According to the new IT guidelines, all social media giants, including Twitter, has to appoint a nodal officer to ensure that new rules are followed. In fact, the nodal officer has to work with the law enforcement agency to remove or block any illegal or inflammatory content on their site.
देखिए, रविशंकर प्रसाद जी हों या आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी हों, वो हिंदुस्तान के 140 करोड़ लोगों की आवाज दबाना चाहते हैं। ये अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की लड़ाई है। ट्विटर कंपनी कुछ नहीं लिखती, ट्विटर तो मात्र एक प्लेटफॉर्म है। ट्विटर पर हिंदुस्तान के लोग लिखते हैं और जब वो मोदी जी की आलोचना लिखता है तो सरकार के पेट में दर्द होता है। इसलिए अब ये हर सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म पर भी तालाबंदी करना चाहते हैं। मंशा केवल साफ है।
कोई भी सर्वे करा लीजिए, भाजपा के लोग ही सबसे ज़्यादा जो है फेक न्यूज़ फैला रहे हैं और इसका दुरुपयोग कर रहे हैं। ये जो दबाव सरकार बना रही है, ये सिर्फ इसलिए दबाव बना रही है कि भाजपा और भाजपा के समर्थित लोगों के ऊपर कार्रवाइयाँ ना हों, बाकी लोगों के ऊपर कार्रवाइयाँ हों। पुलिस तो पहले ही उनकी मदद करती थी, अब वे चाहते हैं कि जो प्राइवेट सोशल मीडिया की बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज़ हैं, ये भी भाजपा की ही मदद करें और अपनी न्यूट्रलिटी छोड़कर जो है सीधा सीधा बायस का जो है जो इनका प्रोग्राम था उसको आगे बढ़ाएं।
Now, the Information and Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad earlier spoke to India Today on the action against Twitter. He slammed the tech giant's deliberate defiance, accusing the platform of double standards.
We gave them the last goodwill gesture. Please do.
Comply.
Otherwise, it will have consequences. They said within a week we will do it. First, they appointed a lawyer as their officer, grievance. Something like, you can't do. He has to be an employee.
They employed a lawyer who was employed with some other law firm.
Yes.
What is the current status? Have they complied with the final compliance officer?
They haven't. I believe they have sent some name. It's still address, etc. is not there. My point is, yesterday, when they said within a week we will do it, they did not do so. And this is very important, Rahul. Rule 7 of the guideline, framed under Section 87 of the Act, having lawful enforceability, clearly says, if you do not follow these guidelines or the rules, then you will lose Section 79 status and other attendant penal law consequences.
You are not issuing any order.
No.
It is by default that since you don't comply, you lose that status.
The withdrawal or extinction of your status as an intermediary exemption, becomes effective because of operation of law itself. From the government we have said, all right, we will give you 1 week more goodwill gesture.
Shifting focus now to all the rebellion in Karnataka. Ahead of the crucial BJP core committee meet in Karnataka comes this stunning remark from BJP MLC H. Vishwanath. The BJP legislator said that Chief Minister Yadurappa may go to jail for corruption and accused the BSY government of receiving kickbacks. In another explosive claim, Vishwanath has said that there were talks that the Chief Minister and his son were paying the High Command to get off or continue the complete term. He added that 80% of the party leaders who met party in charge Arun Singh called for a leadership change in the state. Chief Minister Yadurappa called the charges of corruption as baseless, denied any political turmoil in the state. Now, this comes after party MLA Arvind Bellad alleged that his phone is being tapped. He claims conspiracy against him. Bellard has said that he is being followed by some people, which makes him feel that his phone is being tapped and his movement is being monitored. Bengaluru police, meanwhile, has started investigation into the phone tapping allegations.
More than 20,000 crores tender. The stage has set to call the tender. What is the kickback for the 20,000 crores? 10%. Without any kickback, they are not clearing any files.
And did you also warning that last time Yediyurappa went to the prison because of the 5 million, this time it would happen?
It may happen. If it continues the same, it may happen. With our support only, he became the chief minister of the state. But now things are totally changed. For which our request to the High Command to change the leadership in Karnataka, put a Lingayat leader again.
These are all baseless allegations, and our irrigation secretary is going to clarify everything. It's unnecessarily it's a type of allegation they are doing it.
ಬೇರೆ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳಿಂದ ಉಸ್ತುವಾರಿ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರನ್ನ ಏನು ನೇಮಕ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಈ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಪಕ್ಷಗಳು, ಅವರ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಸಂಘಟನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಉಸ್ತುವಾರಿಯನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಆ ಉಸ್ತುವಾರಿಯನ್ನು ನೇಮಕ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವರು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಏನಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲವು ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಪಾಳೆಗಾರರ ಹತ್ರ ವಸೂಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ, ಅದು ಈ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರ ಕೆಲಸ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ.
ಸತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಜಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಡ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತೈತೆ? ಇದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಅನಿಸ್ತೈತೆ ನನಗೆ. ನನ್ನ ಫೋನ್ ಕೂಡ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ಆಗೈತಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನನ್ನ ಫೋನನ್ನು ಮಾನಿಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತದೆ.
ಸರ್ ಯಾರು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಕಾರ
ಯಾರಂತ ಅದನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಭಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಎನ್ಕ್ವೈರಿ ಮಾಡಿರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟೇನೆ.
I have asked Bengaluru Police Commissioner to look into the matter and inquire and get all the details. And if anybody has done it, book him. That's what I have told.
Such allegations by the phone tapping and all on the government is a serious issue.
Now, see, whenever there is such issue, we will inquire. And if it is truth, then we will take action. If there is no truth, then what seriousness about it?
Now, of course, Yediyurappa in quite a spot. There are a couple of scenarios that the BJP is possibly mulling over. I'm going to take you through those scenarios. In BJP Karnataka, we're looking at rebellion only growing, and the implications here, if we could take you through those scenarios, B.S. Yediyurappa, if at all removed as the chief minister, then the implication would be that the BJP might just lose support among the Lingayat community. Remember, a good bunch of Lingayat seers have come forward in support of B.S. Yediyurappa. And then you have another scenario where the BJP continues with Yediyurappa as the chief minister, and then what would happen possibly is the infighting there, which already is currently underway, will continue a little longer. And then you have another scenario where, if at all, B.S. Yediyurappa itself continues to be the chief minister, but there is a cabinet reshuffle. Then we can expect that the rebellion within the BJP camp in Karnataka might just die down, but it could be a temporary fix. Now, of course, we're looking at new aspirants also emerging. We're looking at cabinet rejig with Yediyurappa as the chief minister. But for all you know, several new aspirants will come forward with their demands. And this is what we've been seeing time and again in Karnataka. Doesn't seem like the rebellion dying down any soon. Now, ahead of the BJP's crucial core committee meeting here to be chaired by Karnataka BJP in charge, Arun Singh, several BJP MLAs have now aired their grievances against the chief minister B.S. Yediyurappa, demanding that he be removed. Now, infighting and dissent within the party refuses to die down. Let's take a look at this detailed report.
It's the BJP versus BJP in Karnataka. And the man at the center of this political storm is Chief Minister Yediyurappa. Knives are out. The rebels want B.S. Yediyurappa out. On Thursday, war of words broke out between Yediyurappa's foes and loyalists. This, even as BJP's Karnataka in charge Arun Singh is in the state to defuse the crisis. BJP MLC Vishwanath openly demanded Yediyurappa's ouster.
We respect Yediyurappa's contribution in building the BJP in Karnataka. But now, Yediyurappa has not got that spirit, that strength to run the government. It's better to replace with a Lingayat leader.
ಆದರೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ನಾಯಕತ್ವ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಅರುಣ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ರವರನ್ನ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾರು ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಪಕ್ಷದ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ದಿಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸಂಘಟನೆ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಲಾಬಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರ ಯೋಗ್ಯತೆಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಶಾಸಕರಿಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅರ್ಹತೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗಿಲ್ಲ.
On Thursday, Arun Singh met 30 to 40 MLAs and heard their concerns. He also instructed them not to voice their opinion in public.
जो लोग लगातार ऐसा काम कर रहे हैं जिससे पार्टी की छवि खराब हो रही है, उनके स्टेटमेंट पे ध्यान दे रहे हैं, वॉच कर रहे हैं, उनका रिकॉर्ड भी हम इकट्ठा कर रहे हैं. मैं उनसे कहूंगा कि किसी भी प्रकार से उनके वक्तव्य के माध्यम से पार्टी को नुकसान न हो.
But all eyes are now on BJP's crucial core committee meet. The meetings will be held at 4 p.m. and will be attended by CM Yediyurappa and Arun Singh. It is likely that MLA's complaints and grievances against Yediyurappa that have been shared with the party in charge will be discussed in the key meet. The core committee will also analyze the recent by-election results, especially the Belgaum Lok Sabha polls, where BJP merely scraped through to victory. Arun Singh post-Friday will head back to Delhi and apprise the BJP High Command on the present crisis in Karnataka. After receiving the brief, the High Command is likely to take a call on Yediyurappa's future as the Chief Minister of Karnataka. With Nagarjun Dwarkanath in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, after Kolkata High Court deferred the hearing in Nandigram verdict case to June 24th, TMC now raises doubts over single bench judge Kaushik Chanda, who was assigned by the acting Chief Justice Rajesh Bindal to hear Mamata Banerjee's election petition. TMC leader Kunal Ghosh tweeted images of Justice Chanda where he can be seen seated with Bengal BJP leaders. TMC MP Derek O'Brien hit out by saying that how can a judiciary sink to such low levels? Remember, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, who lost the contest from Nandigram to her former aide and BJP leader Suvendu Adhikari, reignited the battle after challenging the outcome of the elections. In fact, Mamata had lost the polls by a narrow margin of 1,956 votes. Suvendu polled 1,10,764 votes, while Mamata had polled 1,08,808 votes.
So we know his past, we know personally to each other, we know that he was an active member of BJP. He was a member possibly of Rajya Committee of BJP. So at this stage, if such a sensitive case is assigned to him, more particularly where the matter basically directed against BJP and the Election Commission, we think the fair justice could not be done by him.
Meanwhile, after Mukul Roy's exit from the BJP and Ghar Wapsi to the TMC, BJP has now sought Roy's disqualification. BJP leader of the opposition in Bengal, Suvendu Adhikari, has now officially filed a notice to disqualify Mukul Roy from the assembly. In fact, the BJP has said that considering Mukul Roy won a BJP ticket from Krishnanagar Uttar, he must now be disqualified by the Assembly Speaker. BJP's Amit Malviya has also lashed out at Mukul Roy, saying that the senior leader should have resigned on his own from membership of the Bengal Assembly. In fact, Mukul Roy had resigned from BJP and returned to join hands with Mamata Banerjee in the TMC.